It'll be a little warmer today. It will have a lot more of that wind in the mountains and valleys. Grass fire danger is a little elevated anytime we have a downsloping dry wind. We're going to talk about how some of the fire danger is elevated, but there's no red flag warnings today. We're not weather alert. Today's a pretty nice day, just a little windier for those of you in the high country. Speaking of the higher country, even than our mountains, out in the Continental Divide, we'll have some more snow today. It'll be snowiest up around the northern mountains like Ravagers Pass and Steamboat. It's already pretty slick up there. And maybe on Wednesday, some local flurries. Our Sangre de Cristos and Wet Mountains could pick up a couple inches, but for Springs or Pueblo or Canyon City, maybe just some flurries on Wednesday evening, and that's it. But like I said, there's actually some pretty good snow in the next 24 hours coming to Steamboat, about a foot up there. Craig, which is west of Steamboat, 8.5 inches. Vail, a couple inches. Crested Butte, maybe about 3 to 4. And I do know around Crested Butte, there's been some avalanche warnings. So with some decent snowfall the last week or two, please give avalanche warnings a check before you hit the slopes. Most ski areas, you're going to be okay, but like backcountry stuff, we want you to be careful. It is windy out there on the west side of town, so probably getting a little bit more of a gust for those of you who live near the Air Force Academy in Ute Valley Park. We know that Monument, Palmer Lake are pretty windy, gusty up at Woodland Park and Cascade, but on the east side of town, it's more of a lighter breeze. Seeing that in Pueblo to Canyon City, it's breezy off and on, and a lot windier from Westcliff to Levita. Now, we know today the worst winds will kind of stay where they are, 30 to 50 mile per hour gusts in the mountains. It'll be pretty warm in the plains, 50s and 60s outside. And then as we look through your super 7-day forecast, I get some 40s coming into the rest of this week. Now, the next kind of interesting weather impact is on Wednesday with some flurries. This is kind of one of those weeks where it's tough for us to pick a day that's interesting. There could be some light snow in our mountains, but for the Springs, you know, Pikes Peak on the summit gets a little white, but here at the city, maybe just some flurries. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't think the chance looked that good. We're just going to chilly through the rest of the week. In Pueblo, you know it's chilly, but Pueblo, we can usually sneak out a low 50, and so that's where Pueblo wins. It's always in these winter, fall months. It's just a little bit more mild. In Canyon City's not too bad either. 50s and 40s with what I can tell is pretty dry skies through the rest of the week. Now in Woodland Park, I think on Sunday, or Wednesday rather, we could have some very light snow, but accumulations look pretty minimal. And then I think we're a little extra chilly this weekend.